all BPOs are to be closed for a period of 14 days.
While the government is doing that, you too can play your part by following the protocols that have been established to keep you safe. Practice social distancing, wash your hands regularly with soap and water, and use hand sanitizer if soap and water are not readily available. Also, wear a mask when you're out in public. If we all play our part, we can beat this pandemic. I'm Adrian Atkinson, and this is Jamaica Magazine.
We really need to cut the hate and work together as a country, as communities, to overcome. I really do not want to hear about any case of persons threatening people, abusing persons because they hear that they have the virus. And also, for healthcare workers, we don't want to hear that we are also not cooperating with our healthcare workers.
Get up to speed on the Andrew Holness administration's move to protect the viability of the business process outsourcing sector while preserving the health and well-being of Jamaicans.
Is that we have said to the BPOs that the critical services, those that support the telecommunications, the banking, and the logistics and shipping, particularly those related to our operations as a country, that we will make exemptions and provisions for their operations, but those will be closely regulated. In fact, we are going to appoint one of our agencies along with the Ministry of Health to closely examine those minimum operations, because we don't want that minimum operation to be used as a guise for full operation. During the period from the 15th day of April 2020 to the 14th day of May 2020, the provisions of this paragraph shall apply to all businesses in the business process outsourcing sector. The operator of a business to which this paragraph applies shall ensure that hand washing stations or other hand sanitizing equipment are placed and maintained at the entrance of the business premises and at the entrance to every lunchroom and every recreation area at the premises, so that persons entering have the opportunity to wash or sanitize their hands before entering the premises, lunch area or recreation area, as the case may be. So now by order, by law now, all BPOs have to put in place hand sanitization stations, whether it is the use of chemical sanitization or soap and water. And it has to be at the entrance, in the lunchroom, and in the recreational area. Its employees are directed to wash or sanitize their hands before entering the business premises and before and after every lunch break and recreation break. All employees' workstation and all equipment on the business premises are sanitized before each work shift. So some have 3 shifts. Before each shift, they have to conduct a sanitization exercise. With effect from the 21st day of April 2020, each employee is provided with a headset for the use only of that employee. Currently, the headsets are, well, the users change with the shift. Now they have to provide an individual headset for each employee that only that employee uses. Temperature checks must be conducted on each employee upon the arrival of the employee for work at the beginning of the employee's shift. So before you enter the building or before you are granted entry into the workstation area, your temperature must be checked and logged. Physical distance markers must be in place so as to manage distancing of persons at entry queues to the business premises and in all recreational spaces at the business premises. An isolation area must be established for the temporary holding of a person who becomes symptomatic while on the business premises. Every employee must wear a mask fitted to cover the nose and mouth while in the business operation area of the premises. The workstations of the employees must be situated in such a way that each employee is stationed at least 182.88 centimeters or 6 feet away from the station of other employees. No more than 10 persons are permitted to be in a recreational room, meeting room, or training room of the business at any one time. The employees coming off a work shift must exit the business premises clearly before the employees starting the next shift can enter or queue to enter the business premises. So we want a clean changeover. So you have to get one shift out of the building first before another shift can start queuing to come into the building. So there must be any mingling of the shifts. Employees with flu-like symptoms or respiratory symptoms are not permitted to come to work. Immediately on the operator becoming aware that a person at the business premises has tested positive for the SARS-CoV-2 coronavirus COVID-19, the business premises must be closed and the Ministry with responsibility for health and wellness informed that the person has tested positive within the last 14 days. So if one of your employees tests positive and you become aware of it, they tell you, or by some other means you become aware of it, you must close the business. Yes, you need to inform the Ministry of Health and close immediately. The Ministry of Health has a protocol, so they will come, they will do their checks, and then they will determine what was the extent of the exposure. If the Ministry of Health picks up that someone in a call center who they have tested is positive, then they will inform the call center and start that protocol. But for an abundance of caution, if the operator of the call center gets information that one of their persons who worked with them within the last 14 days of the knowledge of the test, then they must close the operation and inform the Ministry of Health. All right? The Ministry of Health protocol will kick in at that point, and then they will determine whether or not there is a real threat. All right? So when we say close the business, stop operation, send the staff home, ask them to stay in place until the Ministry of Health can come and make the necessary assessment. The name of every employee who fails to comply with the requirements of this paragraph must be reported to the Ministry with responsibility for health and wellness and suspended from work at the business. One of the challenges is that the employees themselves find it onerous to follow the social distancing and the other hygiene requirements. So what this does is to give the employer a process by which if an employee decides that they are not going to follow, then they must write a report, document it, suspend the person, and pass that report on to the Ministry of Health. An operator of a business to which this paragraph applies shall furnish a daily report to the Director General, that is the Director General of OPM, specifying whether the operator is in compliance with the provisions of this paragraph. So they will keep a roster of all the measures, and they will just merely tick off, we did this, we did this, we did this, the times that they have done it, supply it daily to the Director General of OPM. The Director General of OPM is named here because he is he has a specific role under the Disaster Risk Management Act. So it is a reporting role that the BPO must carry out to verify. They are going to self-verify that they are following the protocols. Of course, the Ministry of Health, separate from all of this, will come and check to make sure that they are actually doing what they say they are doing.
Government is on top of measures to stem the spread of COVID-19 on the island. Get the details next.
We are absolutely in sympathy and empathy and understand the concerns that persons have about our nationals overseas and also that being experienced by our nationals overseas. And it's true that there are no easy choices in these circumstances. There are only the best possible decisions with the public health of Jamaica in mind. In these circumstances, I know that the public has been broadly debating the 43 crew workers on the Marella Discovery 2 who are now docked in Southampton in UK, along with approximately, it's a group of approximately 90 cruise workers on about 6 ships that are docked in that port at this point in time. I want to assure you that we are in touch with all our stakeholders, including the owners of the cruise line, about arrangements to bring those 43 workers home, as well as an additional 30 that have been identified as non-essential crew, which they therefore would not require to keep the mechanics and of the essential services of the ship together and functioning. So we have decided as a government that we will engage with the owners of the line to bring those persons home. This does, however, require the cruise line to undertake their obligations under the Maritime Labour Conventions, which guide not only Jamaica, but they guide the Bahamas, to which the Marella Discovery 2 is registered. And as signatory countries, we expect international law to be adhered to. We regretfully have not been in direct touch with the workers. We've been speaking with the organization, and you must understand that with thousands of workers overseas, it would be a difficult thing for us to manage as a government, direct and individual communication. So to try to ensure that we have the appropriate processes in place, clear and factual information at all times, our approach has been to liaise with the owners of the cruise lines. And just to give you a sense of where we are in terms of understanding where our Jamaicans are, because I feel sometimes that there's a sense that we have one small cohesive body of persons in a specific location, and this is not the case. we have 322 Jamaicans across 70 ships on one cruise line. We have 867 crew members on one cruise line across a number of ships, which we are seeking to confirm. We have 90 crew members on one line across 6 ships. We have 586 on another cruise line across 9 ships, and we have 128 across 4 ships, again in varying locations at sea, at different ports across the globe. So from a logistical perspective, from a communication perspective, and from a sheer capacity perspective, this is a hugely complex matter to consider in terms of repatriation. I know that there are references often to some countries sending planes for their citizens. Regretfully, Jamaica is not at an economic state and a state of airlift capacity to do this, and we're not alone. I want to also add that we have been collating information about our non-cruise workers across the world. And at this point in time, we have in one cohort close to 350 persons identified who are seeking assistance across 30 countries. And that's not counting the hundreds in the US that are engaged directly with our embassy, and our consulates in New York and Miami. So again, we engage as much as we can, we provide support as much as we can, and we seek the best solutions as a government with capacity issues, which with changing circumstances, because of course, persons would recognize that even when we started to discuss the matter of controlled re-entry of our nationals overseas, we did not have yet the spike of the capacity that we have discussed today. We did not have the outbreak of more than 100 persons have been added to the list since then. And this means that there's increased capacity constraints on our health workers, on the quarantine locations that we may have been seeking to identify, as well as, of course, the general considerations of how they will be taken best care of when they return. So again, these are not easy issues, no easy choices, only the best possible decisions that can be made in our best interests as a country as a whole. We thank you for your patience, we thank you for your understanding, and we will be here to welcome you home as soon as we have the appropriate arrangements and capacity in place.
How can we assist people who are blind and visually impaired during this novel coronavirus COVID-19 period? There are simple ways to help them navigate our streets and sidewalks, but many people are worried about social distancing. Not to worry, you can simply guide them with the sound of your voice, walking beside or in front of them. Let your voice be the helping hand you give them. For information on how to assist persons with disabilities, contact the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities at 876-926-9376 or 876-618-1133. Remember to look out for the blind and visually impaired, not only today, but every day.
Improving overall health is an essential part of fighting off illnesses such as COVID-19. Find out why fish such as salmon, trout, mackerel, sardines, and tuna should become part of your diet.
We all love our protein: chicken, beef, pork, but how often do we eat fish? Is it only at Easter time or when you're at the beach? Incorporating more fish into your diet can be very beneficial to your health. Compared to red meats and poultry, fish has far less calories and cholesterol.
It's the saturated fats and the trans fats that our bodies use to make cholesterol. And fish and seafood have very little saturated fat and trans fat. So in truth and in fact, that makes it a very healthy source of protein.
Fish also has iron, which is important for good reasoning and memory, iodine, which can prevent mental problems in children, and selenium, vitamins, and carotenoids, which are antioxidants. Who knew that we could get so many nutrients from fish? And that's not all. Incorporating fish into our diet can even reduce the chances of developing certain diseases.
Studies have in fact shown that people who have a higher intake of fish compared to other meat sources have less heart disease, they suffer from fewer mood disorders, and they have less cognitive decline with age, so less dementia.
This is due to omega-3 fatty acids, a nutrient that is only found in a few other food sources, such as walnuts and flax seeds. But oily fish, such as sardines, tuna, mackerel, salmon, and trout, are excellent sources of omega-3s and are readily available at your convenience in supermarkets. So we want to add fish into our diet. In what ways can we do this?
So escovitch fish is one of our favorites. Now the onions and the carrots and the vinegar and the pimento, that's all fine. But we don't want to do a lot of deep frying. Deep frying adds calories. Nothing like a nice steamed fish, a nice roast fish. And when you roast your fish, you can stuff it with wonderful vegetables like callaloo and so on. So we have to find other ways. Many of us have broilers as a part of our stove and we've never utilized it. We don't know how it's used. And that gives us, I think, the closest taste to fried without adding a lot of oil.
So we've got different styles of cooking the fish, but what about flavor? Jamaicans love adding salt, but fish is already salty. Wouldn't that be too much sodium?
If we utilize other things like lime and lemon juice and or fresh seasonings or scotch bonnet pepper or onions or scallion, we can make our fish flavorful without adding a lot of extra sodium.
That sounds really tasty, but watch out for bones. Make sure to debone fish before giving your children. Even if the fish is bought deboned, check for fine bones with your fingers. If you're not careful, you could end up with a medical emergency. The recommended serving size per week is only 8 to 9 ounces of fish, or 2 to 3 servings per week. With an array of health benefits and a variety of ways to cook it, don't miss out on this lifestyle choice. Make a positive impact on your health by adding more fish to your diet.
We want you to stay at optimal health as you remain indoors. Here's a quick 5-minute workout.
Jamaica Moves is a call to action to prevent non-communicable diseases. Get active, eat healthy. You can protect yourself from high blood pressure, obesity, asthma, certain cancer diseases, and more.
Hi, I am Charmaine Wisdom, and I am a physical fitness trainer working with the Ministry of Health on the Jamaica Moves in Schools program. Today, I'm just going to show you a 5-minute routine that the whole family can enjoy. Ready, guys? We're gonna move to the right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, overhead. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Across your chest. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna lift the legs to the back. Come on. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Punching. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Everybody all right? We're gonna go overhead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're gonna do some knees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go. 10 more, 9 more, 8 more, 7 more, 6 more, 5, 4, 3, 2. Rock them to the side. 1. What? Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna do a bit of squats. We're ready to go? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Walk it off. Let's go. Everybody all right? The heart rate is up. That was just warm up, you know. We ready again? Punch to the front. Punch, 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 punch. 10 more, 9 more, 8 more, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Over to your right. Right hand, left knee. Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Over to the next side. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And squeeze to the front. Let's go. Woo! Everybody all right? Let's go, let's go. 10 more, 9 more, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Take it to the right, take it down. Come on. Come on, Destiny. You said you like dancing, right? Dancing is exercise, right? Let's go. 10 more. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Over to the other side. Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. March it off. Also, there are easy ways that you can use chairs and tables to work out. Bring the chairs for me. Join me up here. So if you're in a classroom setting, anywhere you are, you can get physical activity, right? She's gonna sit on the chair. We're gonna show you. Bring the other one this time. So she's gonna do some squats. So you're gonna get up and stand. Let's go. Up. Come on. Straighten your back. Look forward. 10 more. Go team. 9 more. 8 more. 7 more. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So you don't have any excuse wherever you are. Step to the side of the chair, and we're gonna lift to the side. You ready to go? Side, side, team, side, side. Let's go. 5 more, 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, on the other side. Easy ways. Whether you're in an office, classroom, let's go. 5 more, 4 more, 3 more, feel the burn. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's march it up. Remember, after every workout, you have to cool down. So we warm up, do a main activity, and then we have to bring the heart rate back to its natural position, right? So we're gonna bring the arms up on your toes. Take a deep breath. 1 more. And touch your toes. And hold. 3, 2, and 1. All the way up. And clap yourself. Good job.
That's all the time we have left on this station, but be sure to join us again tomorrow for another informative program that's packaged just for you. The information flows online at your leisure. There's jis.gov.jm, there's Instagram, Facebook and Twitter, or YouTube. We also have a mobile app that's Android and iOS compatible. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Keep safe.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.